Okay, so on here on the board, I have a problem that we needed to work with titration. I have my balance equation, and the question says how many milliliters of 1.4 molarity of Hg2SO4 are needed to titrate 75 milliliters of 2.5 molarity of KCl. Okay, what I like to do, I will break this question in 3 parts. First is asking me for the molarity, for the volume, and I have the molarity on here. So if I'm doing a titration using this guy, 75 milliliters of 2.5 molarity of KCl. I know that molarity is equals to moles over volume in liters. So the part 1 that I will do is basically find how many moles of KCl do I have in this with this particular concentration and with this particular molarity and particular volume. So to find the moles, I need to solve my equation for moles. I know if I times both sides by V, volume will cancel. So I know that moles of KCl will be equal to the molarity times the volume. Okay, so molarity here is 2.5, and the volume is given in milliliters. I will convert it to liters. In order to convert it to liters, I times this by 10 to the negative 3, giving me a 0.075. So the moles of KCl is equals to, let me do this calculation again, 0.1875 moles. So now that I have the moles of KCl, I can figure out the moles of silver sulfate. How do I do that? I can use the molar map. So I know that 1875 moles of KCl. This is the step number 2. Moles of KCl, I look at on here, say 2. Moles of KCl to 1 mole of Ag2SO4. So this gave me a 0.93 0.09375 moles of silver sulfate. Okay, so step number 1, I found it how many moles I have in this particular condition, 2.5 molarity and 7.5 milliliters. And then I use my balanced equation to figure it out how many moles of Hg2SO4 I had. I use the balance ratio on here. So the next step, I have the molarity of Hg2SO4, and I will do the same thing. Molarity is equals moles over volume, but now I want to find the volume. I know that if I solve my equation for volume, I have moles over the molarity. I have the number of moles there, 0.09375. I divided by 1.4, and this gives me a 0.0669 liters, but my answer needs to be milliliters, so I do 0.0669, and I times by 10 to the third, well, liters and milliliters, this is 10 to the third, and 1, So this is a 67 milliliters. So I need 67 milliliters in order to titrate 75 milliliters of 2.5 kCl.